What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of the Montreal Expos OOTP 25 series. So we're just going to go over a quick roundup of how the expansion draft went. I'm going to take a look to show you guys that we do have a couple outstanding free agent offers, a couple outstanding personnel offers. I'm not going to show you the personnel ones just yet, but we'll go over some of the free agents. A lot of them are, players who might be trying to make a comeback into the league after a few years away, or a couple young guys who are solid in free agency, who I think could be contributors. But without further ado, let's just go over the quick draft logs here. So with our first pick, we took Ryan Papiat. I think he's going to be our ace. I think he's going to be our ace for a couple years. Looks like he could be a legitimate contributor. I don't want to go too far out, but it looks like he could be a high-level pitcher. His stamina is going to be the one holdup as far as starters go. But other than that, he looks like he could be a real star for us. The Monarchs took Cutter Crawford with their first one. Crawford's a player who I had my eyes on, but unfortunately, we couldn't land. They went Robertson second, a little rich for me, but we followed up with Karinchuk. Karinchuk's out for a little bit, but he's an elite reliever who I think could be someone we look to deal at the deadline if need be. Followed up with Orlando Arcia. Not the best pick, I'll admit, but a guy who I do have, some personal favoritism going on there. He was great for me in some older OOTP games. Could man the middle of the infield for us, could play in the corner outfield, and he's a cheap contract for the next 3 years. They followed up with Meisner and Biggio. We went with the youngest batter with the highest potential here on our third pick, Jackenzie Noel, someone who we think, man first base, potentially, bop over to third if we really need him to, but could provide hopefully, around 20 to 30 home runs a year for us. Followed up with who I think is my personal favorite pick, the value here of Sawyer Gipson-Long in the 5th round. Incredible. Could be a pitcher for us for, to when we start competing, hopefully. And also could just be someone that we look to maybe move. We're going to follow it up. We're not going to go over everyone here, but Garrett Clevenger, high-level reliever. Ji-Wan Bae, middle infielder with some versatility. Sandro Fabian, corner outfielder who's probably going to be a day one player for us. Forrest Wall, good defender out in the outfield. Coming over, rounds 10 to 19. Alex Fido, pitcher who we could look to deal pretty quickly. Cole Irvin, another very good starter. He's just an inning eater. He's got great control, not great stuff, but good stamina. Kobe Allard, another inning eater. Player that we could look to move. Player that's a pretty solid pitcher who could really contribute for us. Daniel Hudson. Solid reliever, someone who we very likely will look to deal at the deadline just to see if we can get some sort of youth back. Joey Votto, this was the fun pick here. Joey Votto, probably the best Canadian in MLB history, and he's going to come play for Montreal Expos to finish out his career. Cannon Smith and Jigba, his brother Jackson, you guys might have heard of, elite wide receiver in the NFL. Cannon's going to hopefully, be a utility outfielder for us. Could be someone who, bops up between AAA and the MLB. Here's who I think was our biggest miss. Would have loved to snag Brandon Crawford. Elizer Alfonso, a young catcher with some, pretty decent potential. Could be a guy who, probably going to start for us year one just because the lack of options there. But could be a guy who, is in our longer term plans. Jose Soriano, young reliever, great stuff. Clayton Andrews could bop between reliever and starter. Nick Ahmed, Gold Glove middle infielder. That's pretty much the simple as it gets. Paul DeYoung, middle infielder with some pop. Bukowskis, solid reliever. Consenguera, great potential batter. Not someone who's going to be in the MLB from day one, but could provide, hopefully 30, 40 home runs for us. Dubone, super utility guy. He's going to stick around. He's going to have some trade value. See some other big ones. Prelander Baroa, young reliever. Probably going to spend at least the start of the first season down in the minors. Palacios, great control. Once again, a reliever starter. It's going to be down in the minors. Jahmai Jones, utility guy. Brendan McKay, two-way player, going to be up on the Major League roster day one. Could be a pinch hitter in a pinch. Brett Phillips, Gold Glove outfielder, simple as that. DJ Gladney, some youth at third base. Jeremiah Jackson, some youth at shortstop. Yan Gomes, fun nostalgia pick, and a backup catcher if need be. And Jose Iglesias, a fun nostalgia pick. Backup middle infielder if need be. Someone who, it's kind of amazing that he's still bopping around in the league nowadays. So we're going to come on over. We're going to take a look at free agents now, just to show you the offers that we have out prior to opening day. So one guy we're considering is Brandon Belt, but as things stand, we got a bunch of offers out. We're going to have more too, because we got to fill out the minor leagues. But we got Cano, Hanley, Kemp, Lester, Pedroia, Braun, Buchholz, Cueto, Masterson, Longoria, Michael Taylor, Michael Brantley, Corey Kluber, Hellickson, Jennings, Viciedo, Donaldson, Hamilton, Kyle Lewis. Kyle Lewis is a guy. Dallas Keuchel skipped over him. Billy Hamilton. Kyle Lewis is a guy who, back in OOTP 17 or so, first round prospect, a dude who I loved. Won Rookie of the Year during the COVID year, I believe. Let's see. COVID year. I thought he was going to be a legit MLB player. Unfortunately, he's kind of fizzled out. He's one of those guys where he goes down to AAA and he plays really well. He comes up to the majors and he just, for whatever reason, can't hit. Kind of Keston Hiura-like. We got Porcello, Middlebrooks, Crush Davis, Thor, Alex Reyes is someone who we're excited for. We're trying to get Masahiro Tanaka back from overseas. Ordonez Jr., simply because of the name. Anthony Garcia, young prospect. Jose Caballero, young prospect. I'll just come on over here to rosters and transactions. So this is where we stand right at this moment. I'm going to slowly just scroll through the lineup just so you guys can see it. It's going to change a little bit prior to opening day. But feel free to pause if you want to look at some of the names on the roster. I'll come back with an update just prior to opening day. Maybe we'll play through the opening day game as well, just so everyone knows where the roster stands and how we're looking heading into 2024. Thank you.